Hi guys, so you join me in part 4 of my sleeper pond build. As you can see, it's still muddy. Borrowed a more powerful drill and drilling the holes for the rebar, so drilling them through the top layer of sleepers and it goes part way into the next row, then taking the next row off and drilling it the rest of the way down. So, and then that goes into the bottom sleeper. So I've done it most of the way around there. I've still got a bit to do, but I'm going to have a go at banging the rebar in on this bit on the front, see if I can get that through. Right, so that's one bit whacked in, just 19 more to go. Right, here we go. So for anyone who missed my first part of the build, I just thought I'd show you the temporary setup that my koi are in at the moment. So it's a swimming pool, I think it's about 2,500 litres plus the filtration. I've got a 10,000 litre an hour pump on there. It's only set on 30%. As you can see, it's stood up on top of a plant basket. That's just in case if I were to have any problems with the pipework leaking or anything like that, it wouldn't drain the whole setup, so the fish would be fine. The fish are in there, they're doing alright, they're not really moving around much and I haven't been feeding them. The water in there at the moment is 7 degrees, so not too bad really for them. Certainly not any colder than it would have been in the main pond. I've got a little, at the moment I've got a 150 watt heater running in the moving bed, which I'll show you in a second, and that's keeping the temperatures pretty stable. If it gets down below freezing, I'll put the 300 watt one on at night. And yeah, 6.9 I think is the lowest I've seen it go to, even when it got down to -5 at night. So there's a hose pumps through here, in the bottom of here. So I've got a load of filter floss there, which is doing my mechanical filtration. Under here, that's all the ceramic media from my shower filter, just to try and keep all the bio alive on that. The water goes down through that water butt and out the bottom and into the moving bed, and that's all the media that was from my old setup, which is all nice and mature, so hopefully the fish will be alright. And then it returns back through a 2-inch return back into the pool. When I've got the new pond up and running, this will be my moving bed for it, and there'll be the 2-inch return will go back into the main pond at a corner to try and give it a little bit of flow. So here's the skimmer. I'm just sat it in place just to have a look how it's gonna fit. As you can see, it's sort of cut into the sleepers so it sits flush across the top. There's the inlet on there that can be adjusted up or down depending on exactly where the height of the water level comes. Hopefully that should be about right, but I can lower it if necessary. So there's an 1.5 inch overflow, which obviously I'll have to plumb up and set to the right height, and then a 3-inch outlet which will connect to where that rubber boot is there on the drum, and the next hole over that will go down into the for the bottom drain. There's going to be a T-piece off that bottom drain with a second ball valve, so I can purge the drain as and when I need to. And then the return from the moving bed at the moment is flowing back into the pool, but that's going to flow down into this corner. I'm actually going to put it just underneath the sleepers. Sorry, it's so muddy around here, I'm going to fall over in a minute. So this is going to go into the wall down there to give a bit of current, sort of low down, and help keep sort of stuff from settling on the bottom, and hopefully sort of give it a sort of a circular flow around the pond. And then the other return is going to come out from behind the shed and up, and I'm going to have my backy shower there. I'm not using the beige one that I had before. I'm going to be selling that, and I've got a metre long black shower from JBR Plastics instead. That hopefully is going to arrive before I need it. Yeah, still got plenty of water in there in the pond. I'll finish getting it all screwed together. I'm going to put some plate brackets on the inside at the joints, and also corner braces like I had before, and then get the bottom drain pipe working. Right, so I've got corner braces in all the way around at every point where the wood joins, and plates as well. If that's not strong enough, I don't really know what else I could have done. I'm not sure even if it's really necessary with the rebar as well, but I'd already bought them and I reused a lot of the screws that I took out when I took the pond apart. So hopefully that'll do. Right, now I've just got to get the insulation boards in and cut to size, and then we'll be ready for the bottom drain and the liner. So the pond's lined all the way around now with 25mm Kingspan. That'll give it a bit of insulation and also protect the box weld liner that's going in. There's a couple of brackets on there just to hold it in place until I get the liner in. That's due to be delivered in a couple of days. I've got the pipe work for the bottom drain cut and ready to go in, but I'm going to wait until I've physically got the liner until I do that. On the bottom, I'm going to have a couple of sheets of 25mm polystyrene. It will give a little bit of insulation. It will sort of compress down under the weight of the water a bit, but it will protect the liner as well, so that should be good. The next thing I'm going to do is cut in my 2-inch return from the moving bed. So that's actually going to come underneath the sleepers rather than through them. Saved me drilling through them. And the skimmer, I was a bit worried that I wasn't sure how this was going to work with the insulation being a bit thicker, but I think all I'm going to do is chamfer off the edges so it sits flush against it. I could probably get, there is a little bit of room in there, I can probably get a bit of OSB board down the back just there. So yeah, that'll be fine. When the flange is on, that'll sit pretty well. So the return's just going to come under there, and then it'll go back up to the moving bed. Right, so that's the return jet put in. It's nice and low down to the bottom. I've cut the edges for the skimmer ready. What I'm going to do now, obviously I'm going to give all this Kingspan a bit of a wash down because I've got it absolutely muddy, and where there's a few gaps I'm going to get some foam in there and then tape it over with some foil tape just to neaten it all up. It's either the pond's not straight or I've not cut the sheet straight, one of the two, or possibly both. This floor sheet that I had in, I've broken that one already. I stood on it, but I've got a spare. Well, I've got a couple of spare ones actually, because I was going to use them to insulate the shed, so that's not too much of a problem. I'm all ready for the window to go in now. I've just got a wooden frame around there, so it's the same thickness across here as the glass, so the glass will just sit in there. Obviously I'll do a video installing the glass when we get that far. All I've got left to do really is wait for the liner to arrive, which shouldn't be too long now, and then I can finally get out of all this mud. I'll do that on a separate video, so the next video, which will hopefully be end of next week, will just be all about the bottom drain, so keep an eye out for that. Just want to thank everybody who's subscribed to the channel since I've started doing this build. It's great to see everybody, all the likes and all the comments and everything like that. So thank you guys, and hopefully I'll have it done by the end of the month, fingers crossed. Alright, see you in the next one.